College basketball is back, and so are the Pitt Panthers, coming off their highest single-season win total of the last 9 years and looking to build off it brick by brick under Jeff Capel. They start off the new season by hosting the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. And welcome inside the Peterson Events Center alongside a Big East champion, Julius Page. I'm Jason Earle. Julius, good to be back, and there's a little bit of a different buzz this time around.
Great to be back. Panthers coming off an NCAA tournament berth. The infectious personality of Blake Hinson leading his team. The smooth shooting stroke that he has. We're going to see what he do this year.
Breakout year for Hinson a season ago, and he comes into this year as a preseason second-team All-ACC guy. For North Carolina A&T, a first-year head coach, Monte Ross, and only 3 returners from last year's team, Julius, they're going to learn a lot about themselves tonight.
It's going to be a lot of bumps in the roads, having to learn a new coach, a new program, new players. It's going to be difficult, but they're going to have to learn as they go. For
the Aggies, year 2 as members of the NCAA, and a new-look roster across the board for North Carolina A&T. Getting set to tip here at the Peterson Events Center, year 6 under Jeff Capel, set to begin for these Panthers, in no year more successful than last for Capel and company, reaching the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2016. And the 23-24 campaign begins. 3 newcomers in the starting 5 for the Panthers, but nothing new about Blake Hinson with unlimited range.
It's a great sign for the Panthers. When he get it going early, it's going to be a long night for you.
So Federico and Hinson, the 2 returners in the Panthers starting 5, and we'll take you through North Carolina A&T. A lot of new faces. Cam Shell, Landon Glasper, Jeremy Robinson is the most experienced player on the roster for the Aggies. He misses from the top of the arc. Hinson again, that time he fakes, drives baseline, and gets the bucket through contact.
Strong finish, nice shot fake. After you knock down the first one, use the shot fake.
Quick 5 for Blake Hinson. Again, a preseason second-team All-ACC player for the Panthers.
Carrington with the eyes to get it up to Fuller.
Carrington defending the ball here. He's a freshman guard out of Baltimore, Maryland, wearing number 7 for Pittsburgh. Robinson in the lane, spins, front iron, rebound, ends in the hands of Hinson. And here's the 6'5" Carrington steering the offense for the Panthers. Federico muscles his way down low and has it tipped away by the Aggies. Pull-up triple from Glasper is too long. Glasper will hear the chants of the Oakland Zoo that's here loud and proud tonight. And a foul called on the legged penetration will go against North Carolina A&T.
Nice little shot fake by Blake. Get in there, he's a big boy. You might have to use that foul right there with him going to the basket. You're going to have to take one. It's not going to stop him. He's a big body.
Blake Hinson, of course, tested the NBA draft waters, opted to come back. Lost a lot of weight, in much better shape heading into this season, and can already start to see the effects of it here early in the year. Federico!
Around the rim, that guy's 6'11". He's long. It's going to be tough for the Aggies to stop him down low.
So far, it's all about the returners, Federico and Hinson. Now transition. Hinson takes flight and lays it off the glass. 9-0 start for the Panthers. Brick by brick, they continue to build it here in Oakland. Federico, 2 times the athleticism. Well, the Pitt Panthers wasting no time putting points on the board and continuing to build momentum after an historic season last year under Jeff Capel. 24 wins on the year. 2 in the NCAA tournament is the most for the Panthers since 2008 and 2009, of course, when they went all the way to the Elite Eight with an incredible team that year 15 seasons ago. And the Peterson Events Center is alive and well once again thanks to the performance of the Panthers from a season ago, Julius.
Yes, sir. He felt the down. You know, a lot of heat was on him coming into last season. You know, the fans not happy with what Coach Capel was doing. But he got us back to the promised land. He got the Panthers back to the promised land as Federico make the layup. Back where we supposed to be, Jason. Is,
That's right.
That's what the Pitt fans are saying. Back where we supposed to be.
You know what that's like.
For sure. Now, this guy has length. He's under control. He's smart. Just a freshman as Federico put it back in. Clean up the mess from the young guy.
What do you like about Carrington, the freshman?
I mean, he's from Baltimore. You know, usually kids that come from those cities
That's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have some grit to him. It's just a matter of him putting it all together.
Carrington, by the way, goes by Bub, so if you hear us refer to him by that the rest of the night, his dad's Bub and he's Lil Bub. Team calls him Bub, so that's what he's going to be from our side as well. 11-5 is now the Panther lead after the Aggies got their first couple buckets on the board. The last one, a three from Nikos Hidikoudis for NCA&T, the freshman from Greece. Now a baseline pass swatted by Zach Austin. He's a beast on the defensive side, and he gets the block there. Now Leggett on the drive, switches hands midair, and has it blocked by the Aggies.
Yeah, that's good help defense right here, but how about being this athletic? 2 hands on that right there? Come on, that's a forward. He's not a footer doing that.
Jeff Capel calls him a really talented, huge upside guy that's a freak athlete. As Carrington fires a triple, and it's off the mark. Leggett tried to chase it down, but Austin, another transfer, Julius, coming in from High Point and had an impressive career there. 14.1 points per game last season at High Point, and a key piece among transfers for this Pitt team.
Very athletic. You know, the exhibition game, I seen him shot fake, put it on the floor, it looked so fluid. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see what he can do on the offensive end for this Panther team.
Yeah, he just had a big defensive play. Coach Jeff Capel said he should end up being like Deion Sanders, where defensively you just know not to throw the ball to that side of the field. That's what he compared Zach Austin to. And so now a foul called against Blake Hinson and the Panthers. Fans in attendance not happy about the call, but nonetheless it'll be Landon Glasper headed to the line for NCA&T.
To go back to Austin, you know, the Panthers are going to need a guy between him and Jeffers coming off the bench that's going to have to stop some real talented scorers in the ACC, so you might as well get used to it now.
Zach Austin, 6'7", in his redshirt junior year, originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That was something they liked about him. They know a lot of guys, of course, in the North Carolina area. Jason played at North Carolina. That's Jeff's brother, and Jeff, of course, a standout at Duke. So they've got plenty of roots in the Carolina area, and we're able to make some connections in securing Zach Austin to the Panthers. Quickly this time, alley-oop, Federico the finish.
Breaking the press doesn't get more better than that. Ball not touching the floor.
That's how you draw it up.
Break the press to score the basketball. The fastest way to get him out of it.
13 Panther points so far, all coming from Hinson and Federico, two of the key returners on this Panther club that made it to the NCAA second round last season. Glasper with 7 to shoot, defended by Leggett. Too much contact, and the foul is called on the floor. Basket did go in, but will not count. 13-6. Panthers lead it early, and already a couple of jams from Federico. Well, a new head coach means a new staff at NCA&T for Monte Ross. Jeff Rafferty, Dorian Long joining Coach Ross, along with Ricky Moore, who's somebody that you have watched a lot of. Julius, tell me why.
Yes, sir. You know, he went to UConn. It's kind of odd that we had those rivalries with UConn, that I actually looked up to players from those UConn teams, the Khalid El Amin, Ricky Moore, Jake Vasco, Rip Hamilton. And then I go to Pitt, and these guys are my rivals. Like, it's the weirdest thing. But, yeah, I watched a lot of Ricky play. Big East basketball was huge back in those days. And, it was a pleasure to play in that conference.
It's hard to admire you, or it's hard to think about you admiring UConn in any way.
Yeah, for sure. It is a weird thing, but I'm glad we were able to build the program to even become a rivalry of UConn. You know, we got to think Ray Allen before that crew. So yeah, we did some good things.
Yeah, he won the title at UConn in '99, and then assisted Kevin Ollie when they won it back in 2014. Of course, the Huskies, the reigning champs, once again, coming off last April. Austin, three from the corner, rims out. Hinson goes up and grabs the board on the weak side. Goes up strong, draws the foul. He'll head to the line. Still the only points on the Panther side tonight, all coming from Federico, and Blake Hinson.
And that was just a man move right there. Grab the rebound, he's poised, take his time, power dribble, just go up strong. Nice and composed, no need to panic. He got it all under control.
Jeff Capel, the man behind the first 20-plus win season for this Pitt Panther team since 2015 and 16. Of course, when Jamie Dixon was still the head coach here at Pitt. Earned him ACC Coach of the Year honors. And mentioned that impressive tournament run. They beat Mississippi State in the first four and went on to beat Iowa State in that first-round game against the six-seeded Cyclones. And I think what stands out about that game against Iowa State, Julius, they held the Cyclones to 41 points in an NCAA tournament game. It was an unbelievable showing on the defensive side.
Yeah, they got it going towards the end of the year, and Coach Capel finally got a chance to see what these fans feel like when it's going good for the program. But they got it going at the end. They had a good identity with Nelly Cummings and Nike Sabandi and Big Shot Henson. They found their rhythm. They knew, they were great at shooting a three. That's what you need to do. You have to find your identity and do what you do well.
So the confusion here, the brief stoppage to determine just who exactly the foul was on against NCA&T, and they ruled that it was against Jeremy Robinson. So number one for the Aggies officially gets the foul tallied. Blake Hinson connects on the second free throw to make it 14-6. And how about the return of William Jeffress? Good to see him back out there for the Panthers. Missed last year with a foot injury and has not played in game action since March of 2022. Jeffress, certainly a delight to see him back out on the floor for the Panthers, and they expect him to be a big part of what they do this year.
Especially on the defensive end with his length, his ability to rebound the basketball, and his athletic ability.
Crafty shot there from the 6'5" Carrington to elevate over the defender and get his first official field goal as a Pittsburgh Panther. And foul called on the other end will go against Zach Austin. Third team foul on the Panthers. And the first on Austin, Guillermo Diaz-Graham, another friendly face for the Oakland Zoo and the Panther fans in attendance. Really got hot towards the end of the year last season, especially in the NCAA tournament for this Pitt team.
Definitely gave him some solid minutes, especially with Federico getting banged up. He did a good job filling in for him. It must be nice to sub in one 7-footer for another. I don't know what that feels like, but it must be nice for Coach Capel.
Jalen Lowe, the lefty, for three, back iron, and rebound hauled in by Hidi Kudis. Good challenge by Diaz-Graham on the defensive side, and an injured player down for the Panthers. And being helped up along the baseline. Look at the rejection from Guillermo Diaz-Graham. Reminds me of one thing the NCA&T coach told us coming into today, Julius. He said, after practice on Friday, we had to give the players some growth pills so that they could compete with this Pitt Panther height tonight.
Yes, he does. Yes. And with the three guys, the Diaz-Graham twins and Federico, I don't know if a lot of teams can match up with having three guys 6'11" and above. It's going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams. And the skill set that they have. They're not just, 7 feet stiffs. They're agile. They're able to run the floor.
That's right.
So, in transition, they're going to be a problem also.
And talking about the height, you have to consider, too, they almost had another big in Papa Amadou Kanti, who signed as a freshman with the Panthers from Senegal and was expected to be a piece this year, but is unfortunately out for the season due to a knee injury. But you start to think about what this team could look like next year height-wise, and it's a bit scary.
Yeah, Coach Capel's doing a good job putting the pieces together, that's for sure.
So Jalen Lowe called for the travel there, got caught in a tough position, and there's Conti. The freshman suffered an injury in September and underwent surgery. It was successful. Unfortunately, he is out for the year, but was rated the number 108 overall recruit in the 2023 class, according to ESPN. Has a 7'4" wingspan, and certainly someone for Panther fans to be excited about in future years. Mix-up on the floor. Diaz-Graham gets another block. Both of them are in right now. Guillermo out to the corner. Got a finger on that one too, but it ends up back with Glasper. Cross-court pass, and now a drive from Kyle Duke. 13 to shoot for the Aggies. 13 minutes left in this first half. Good hands by Guillermo. Jalen Lowe, transition pass, tipped away. And last off, the Panthers. NCA&T will take over.
I want to see Duke get a little more aggressive for the Aggies. During warm-ups, he was knocking 3 after 3 after 3 down. His team's down 10. You got to go ahead and let that thing fly.
Well, you want him to be aggressive, but not in that way. He picks up the foul after the handoff there. Made contact with Jalen Lowe. And Kyle Duke picks up his first personal of the night. Substitution made by the Panthers. Ishmael Leggett returns and checks in for Carlton Carrington. Big story to follow this year for the Panthers, the freshman guards, how they will cope with having such an important role on the team after the backcourt was so vital to Panther success a season ago. Guillermo looking for Leggett. 10 to shoot. Leggett drives. Athletic move to the rim and lays it in.
Well, that's what we knew they were going to have to replace from last year, their guard play. Coach Capel said Lowe is more of the pure point guard out of the freshmen, so we get a chance to see how he's going to handle his offense.
Here's Lowe again. Step back jumper, top of the key, off the mark. And two players collide underneath the basket. And we'll use it to take a timeout. 18-6, the Pitt Panther lead, 11:53 to go. First half from the Pitt. 7-0 run for the Panthers going into the timeout, but I want to make sure we give you an update. That Panther down on the baseline was Zach Austin, and we think it came from this play right here. Gets his right arm pinched in between the arm of Kyle Duke. Now, Austin went back to the Panther locker room, but fortunately was tended to and is back out on the Panther bench. So hopefully we do get to see Zach Austin again tonight, but the fact that he's back out on the bench, a good sign, Julius.
Defensively, definitely a guy they're going to need in rotation. 60-plus blocks and 60-plus threes. Come on, that's a dual threat right there. He's getting it done on the offense and defensive end.
There's a guy near the bottom of this list that I think has done pretty well in the NBA.
Yeah, pretty well, huh? I would say. That's an understatement right there. KD, anytime you're on a list with Kevin Durant, come on, that's legendary.
That's great company. And Keegan Murray as well, near the top of that list, did it at Iowa a couple years ago, and he's, of course, now in the NBA with Sacramento. And back in action here at the Pitt. Just about 11.5 to go. First half, first game of the 2023-24 season for the Panthers. 3 ball, too short there from Landon Glasper. Both Diaz-Graham twins in the game, and Jalen Lowe getting his run from the point guard position. They lay off him, but an offensive foul called off the ball against Guillermo Diaz-Graham, who picks up his first. 5 team fouls now on the Panthers. 4, I should say, and all from different players.
I'll tell you one thing. Last year around this time, you saw the Diaz brothers on the floor a whole lot. Not so much. Looked like they put on a little weight, a little muscle. It's good to see.
Sure did. I think there was a point you compared them to the Gasol brothers, too. That was, what do you think about that?
I'm from Spain. I mean, that's not far-fetched. They're from Spain.
He had a great end of the year last year, no question about that, and certainly amongst the players to look out for in this season in terms of breakout potential, Guillermo and Jorge. That last 3 good from Jeremy Robinson, the grad student from Raleigh, North Carolina, to make it 18-9. Here's Lowe, takes another 3, back iron. Guillermo battling for the board, and another foul called against Pittsburgh, and once again on Guillermo. So he picks up 2 quick ones, and good to see Zach Austin checking back into the contest. So whatever injury he did undergo appears that it was quite minor, and he's back into the action as the Diaz-Graham twins check out along with Jalen Lowe.
Lowe trying to get the lid off that basket.
Lowe 0 for 3 from the field to start his Pitt career. A&T struggling themselves, 1 of their last 10. And there's a triple off target from Kelman Nichols. And now Carrington back out running the point. He takes the pull-up, and that's off target. Aggressive rebound from Leggett, got it blocked on his putback attempt. And ball goes out of bounds along the baseline. Will stay on this end.
Faded a little bit on the jump shot, but I like it. He shoots it with a lot of confidence. He know he can knock that shot down. He already has 4 assists.
Yeah, I liked what Jeff Capel said about his experience being a young guard in college. He compared Carrington and Lowe to him and Chris Collins back at Duke. Going into his freshman year, there was a lot of praise for the front court of Duke. It was called a championship front court. But the backcourt, there were questions. And so he had guys like Grant Hill to look up to, and he said that's what's going to be important for Bub Carrington and Jalen Lowe. Look up to those veteran leaders for wisdom, advice, and guidance as they navigate trying to steer a team as freshmen.
How about that for a little bit of help? Whenever you get in trouble as a freshman, you could just swing it to Grant Hill. He'll get it done for you.
Aggressive defense on the side from the Panthers. Ball went out of bounds. Panthers thought it was last off the Aggies, but it will stay with NCA&T. Here's Glasper, takes a pull-up. Back iron, and foul on the rebound attempt will go against Jeremy Robinson. Robinson picks up his 2nd. So he and Cam Shell now both with 2 fouls for the Aggies. A couple in foul trouble for NCA&T, and when we talked to Monte Ross, we said, you know, Coach, this is a new look team. Tell us some players to look out for. And he said, I'm as anxious as you guys are to find out who they're going to be.
Yeah, with so many new players and this being his first year, he has to treasure the practice time that they have to get to learn them. But it's no better thing than a real thing. The real game, when the lights come on, players can do whatever they want in practice. Some of them, the lights come on, they get missing on you. So now he get to see for real. You know, who's going to be the guy for me? Who can I depend on, you know, on the road against the ACC team?
Yeah, how about he said sometimes he still needs to use a roster card to learn the names and numbers of everyone on his team just because there are so many new faces. And he was very open and honest about the challenges that he's got ahead of him for this year, but very hard-working team. He praised them for that. They're committed to building together and bringing NCA&T back to a stage where they can compete for conference championships and NCAA tournament bids.
Something that we're going to see a lot of. Every time you have a coaching change, you're going to start seeing players hit the portal right away. Won't be the last time you'll see this kind of turnaround.
Here's one of the transfers. Leggett came to Pitt from Rhode Island. Has it tipped down there. And Panthers will keep it. Leggett with 5 points early for Pittsburgh on 2 of 4 shooting. 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. Carrington, baseline jumper, got it. Second field goal of the career for Bub Carrington.
Rocking the number 7. A new change to college basketball that I absolutely love.
It's great, right?
Yes, sir.
And wears 7 for Carmelo Anthony. Played AAU ball with Team Mello, did Bub Carrington. Now he'll bring the ball up the floor, engineering the Panther offense. Austin, corner 3, on the wing, I should say, and now rebound on the weak side from Hinson. And Hinson called for another foul. That's his second. And so Hinson gonna step off. Jorge Diaz-Graham will replace him. What do you think about the call?
You know, it's a lot of pulling and tugging and extracurricular activity going on.
Yeah.
Before the ball get there that the referees have to watch. Robinson and Hinson been going at it, so it happens.
Panthers still with a fairly comfortable 14-point lead despite some of the foul calls. 16 fouls called so far against the blue and gold Panthers. Now ball bouncing around, 5 to shoot for the Aggies. Glasper had it blocked by Federico, and Carrington comes up with it. Behind the back, what a move from the freshman. Alley-oop attempt to Austin, and Federico taps it back in.
Carrington showing a little bit of the handles in transition.
Kind of like what you see if you're Jeff Capel from the freshman point guard Carrington.
As Duke get one to go.
Leggett on the roll, 3 from the top of the arc. In and out, rebound to the Aggies. Kyle Duke pushing tempo. Pulls up, off the mark, rebound Leggett. Federico drives, strong take to the bucket, draws the contact, and when we come back from the break, Federico will be on the free throw line. 8 points for him tonight already. Here's a couple of them. But Bub Carrington with the shifty move at midcourt, and Federico finishes 8 points for the big man. Well, back in the Peterson Event Center, and want to take a moment to remember the life of longtime camera operator Carl Truss. Passed last week at the age of 75 after over 20 years as a camera operator for Pitt athletics events. He's also a former U.S. Marine, a Vietnam War veteran, and we're saving a spot for him tonight along the baseline where he became so comfortable running that camera over the years here for Pitt basketball, did Pitt football, Pirates, Steelers, a little bit of everything for Carl Truss, and was great friends with so many of our folks on the crew tonight. And Julius, well, he did it for over 2 decades, which means he was doing it when you were here too.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of conversations, but, you know, with just seeing him here in the building, we used to, show each other love, smile, and prayers to his family.
I've talked with one of our camera operators tonight, J.W. Steele, before the show, and just reiterated that he always had enough time to help people out. No matter how much experience they had in the business, he would stay long after games, willing to teach younger folks, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Truss family during this time. 6:45 to go, first half in the Peterson Event Center. Panthers with a 14-point lead. Jason Earl, Julius Page with you on the opening night of the 23-24 college basketball season. Panthers with 4 different scorers on the game, led by Federico and Hinson with 8 apiece. Aggies get an offensive rebound on this possession, but a misfire from three-point again. They are 2 for 12 on the night from beyond the arc.
I know the Aggies are undersized, but they're going to have to try to get something going to the basket as Diaz-Graham knocks down a corner three.
Jorge Diaz-Graham, the 6'11" sophomore from Spain, hits the trifecta, increasing the lead to 17. Traffic on the penetration from Glasper. And last touched by the Aggies along the baseline. Pittsburgh ball.
Yeah, if you are 6'11", 7 feet tall, and you can set the screen and stretch the floor like this, trust me, you will get paid to play this game in the future. You better believe it.
Well, that's what they want to see, right? Guys like that who have the height, ability on the defensive side, but can also step out and hit a jump shot.
Can pass the basketball, put the ball on the floor. He's only in his second year. He's only going to get bigger, stronger, more confident, comfortable. A lot of upside.
2 double-figure scoring games last year for Jorge Diaz-Graham, and Carrington hits from the wing for 3. Pitt really starting to find a rhythm now offensively on a 13-2 run over the last 4.5. Freshman Carrington, a lot to be excited about there. He's got 7 points. Rejection by Jeffries.
Blocked that one with 2 hands right there.
That's the second two-handed block we've seen tonight, right?
Welcome back, William Jeffries. Good help rotation. Get up there with a 2. Looks like he's healthy.
I would say so. Jeff Capel was so excited about Jeffries coming into last year. Said he was playing really well prior to the foot injury, and it was a big loss for that Panther team to not have him a season ago. They're glad he's back. Diaz-Graham, the rebound. Jorge is the twin that's on the floor now. Now low, alley-oop, Federico, a flush.
Got both of the young point guards out there at the same time.
And briefly silenced there by Kyle Duke as the crowd calms down for a moment. But you said it, Jalen Lowe and Bub Carrington both on the floor. So opening night, perhaps a chance for Jeff Capel to experiment with that. Lowe running the point. Jeffries, weak side corner 3 off the mark, gets his own rebound and goes back up and draws the foul on the way.
Pushing it, applying pressure to the D, and there's nothing you could do with that. Federico getting up there. Just put it where your guy can get it.
And dunks was one of 4 categories that he led the team in last year, along with field goal percentage, offensive rebounds, and blocks. And what an impact he has had. Julius, remember going into last year, the Panthers had John Hughley. He was expected to be the big that the Panthers could rely on. Was banged up going into the year. That allowed Federico to get playing time. But I don't know if anyone expected him to surge the way he has over the last 12 months.
Not at all. You know, I thought it was a fluke at first. He kept putting up those double-double, those 10-10 games, and I didn't think it would carry over. But he definitely, you know, carried it throughout the season. But I think it gave Blake Henson, you know, with John Hughley being down, it allowed him to offensively, you know, get himself going. And, you know, here we are now.
And Federico started his career at Northern Oklahoma before coming over to Pitt, and such an important piece in their incredible year they had a season ago. And foul called that time on Bub Carrington, first for him. He's got 5 assists in addition to those 7 points on the night. Talked so much this year about the Panther backcourt. Of course, some questions about it, but one of the big ones, can they replace or at least live up to some of the expectations, some of the standards set by last season's group? Jamarius Burton, Nelly Cummings, Greg Elliott, Nike Sabandi, so many talented weapons around the perimeter for the Panthers. And it's a whole new group coming in this year, some freshmen, some transfers. Bub Carrington, of course, leading the charge tonight, but so many names, and again, can they kind of fill that void that's left some from last season's roster.
It's obviously going to be some bumps in the road, but you know, these days with AAU being what it is and traveling all around the world, these guys come in a little more prepared than I think, you know, players in the past came to college with the kind of experience that they're getting.
Entry pass down low. Federico backing down his defender with 4 to shoot. Spins and takes the shot that's off back iron. And rebound attempt last touched by William Jeffries. 20-point advantage for the Pitt Panthers, coming off their first NCAA trip since 2016. 3.5 to go, first half in the Pitt. Well, don't want to speak too soon, JP, but this freshman is on pace for a triple-double in his first career game.
Yeah, man, speak soon. Sean Miller, Brandon Knight, Kyle Krauser, LeVance Fields.
Here we go.
Y'all might have some company. Y'all might have some company.
Hey, he's only 16.5 minutes in.
I know. Hey, I know it's early. I know it's super early to say that, but I don't know.
A lot of hype, and it's proven itself tonight. No question about that.
I don't want to forget Trey Woodall. I mean, that list is long.
Yeah.
But if I miss anybody, forgive me. It's a lot of y'all.
Hey, we can't cover them all right now. That'll take too much time. 20-point lead for the Panthers. Bub Carrington getting a well-deserved rest for the time being. Jorge takes the 3 and drills it. Jorge Diaz-Graham, his second triple of the night, puts the Panthers up 23.
It's tough with the length. Look at his ability to guard on a wing. That's a footer right there. Guarding a wing player.
Not many 6'11" guys that can do that.
Not at all. That's the thing that reminded me of Gasol. I seen Gasol do it as a young man.
Can he hit another? Wow.
Yes, he can.
Jorge Diaz-Graham is hot from downtown. 9 points for the Spanish sophomore. .12 to shoot now for the Aggies. Jorge got a foot on it. Of course, a big soccer fan, but not allowed on the hardwood.
Nice awareness, kick out to the corner, find your guy. He can shoot it.
Well, the big story last year was the potential that we talked about, right? With Guillermo and Jorge, but what can they do in terms of taking that step into year 2? And this is an outstanding first impression from Jorge Diaz-Graham.
They just look more confident out there, stronger. I feel like every other play they were biting the dust last year.
Yeah.
They clearly got a lot stronger, a lot more confident in their game.
Leggett cross court up ahead to Austin. Austin alley-oop Jorge.
Way to keep your head up by Leggett. Advance the basketball with the pass. Unselfish basketball. Advance on the pass. Good catch by Austin. Feed the big fella. He got it going. Heat check.
.11 points to lead all Panthers. He's perfect from the field. And he completes the 3-point play. What a series from Jorge Diaz-Graham.
Yeah, he had to tell him, I'm more than just a 3-point shooter now. I can finish at this rim, too.
Now, I think he could probably clip off the last 5 minutes of this game and send it to every NBA scout in existence. There's a lot to like right there.
For sure.
And just like that, the Panthers find themselves up by 29 here in the first half. Hinson pivoting, finding Federico off the fingertips. Panthers reset with 13 to shoot. Leggett, little jab step, and then the drive and the finish.
Can't sleep Leggett. Coming from the A-10, it's a very tough conference. Just because it's a mid-major, I believe people sleep it, but it's not easy.
Austin skies up for the rebound. Panthers waste no time on the fast break. Leggett again draws the foul. It's an 11-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes for the Panthers. And it didn't take them long to gain control of this game and put all of their weapons on display as Leggett makes the first free throw.
I think it's starting on that defensive end. Haven't talked much about it, but, you know, to see Diaz Graham guarding on the wing and to have the length, rotation is difficult. Going to have to beat them off the dribble, make them rotate. If I'm Duke, I'm just going to start going with my game. I got to force the issue here. This is when you got to start hitting the coach with the "my bad, coach, my bad." Start trying to make something happen. See if I can get my teammates going.
A 13-second difference between shot and game clock for the Aggies. This is Evan Joyner. Over to Hidi Kudis, probably their final possession here of the first half. Now just one to shoot. They'll throw up a prayer. That's off front iron. Hinson comes up with the board. 7 seconds left for the Panthers. Alley-oop, Zach Austin takes flight. My goodness, Pitt Panthers. (50-15) in the first half with an exclamation point on the alley-oop. Zach Austin soaring through the air in the Pitt to put the Panthers up 35 at the end of this first half. A lot to like about these Pitt Panther newcomers. Returners aren't so bad either. Federico with 10, Hinson with 8, and the Pitt Panthers putting on a show in the Peterson Event Center on the opening night of the college basketball season. 50-15 at the half.
Welcome into this ACC Network halftime report. Hope you've enjoyed the first half so far alongside Coach Seth Greenberg and our two national champs, former MOPs, Luke Hancock, Joel Berry, Kelsey Riggs. Great to be with you. First half of the season just getting underway, you guys. So let's talk about some big picture storylines. And Luke, who's someone that you think can come in and make an instant impact this year?
Yeah, back 100 years ago when I played, you couldn't transfer in conference. All these rules are so different. But I think the crazy thing is the transfers that have come in conference. You know, rivalries are switching guys. And one of the best rivalries we have in this is Miami and Florida State. And I think that impact transfer is going to be Matthew Cleveland. Jordan Miller was such an X factor for Miami being able to make runs these last 2 years. A guy like Matthew Cleveland that's long, athletic, shows a ton of versatility, play a little inside, outside, and can guard multiple positions. He's going to slot in very well for Jordan Miller's role in minutes. I think he's going to be an X factor for Miami to make another run this year.
I think it's a good choice. Harrison Ingram's going to be huge, I think, for Carolina as well. I think they needed kind of a hybrid forward who can make plays to open up the floor with Baycott. I think Ingram is that guy.
Yeah, and I agree with both of your picks. I'm going to go with Joe Girard. I think having him with Clemson is a huge get. You talk about having P.J. Hall down there in the post, being able to spread the floor with Chase Hunter and what he did last year, moving over to the point guard spot. There's impact players all over the ACC, and I'm excited to see what happens this year.
And it is interesting when it's those interconference transfers. We've seen it before. Going to see it again this year. Matthew Cleveland especially interesting because we saw what he did in those games when he was playing with Florida State to Miami. Now he switches over. Joel, let's go under the radar team. Who's somebody you have your eye on?
Yeah, just spoke about him, and it's Clemson. Clemson is a team who they have all the pieces, and you talk about having depth. That is important when you get to the NCAA tournament, having 10, 11, 12 guys that can get out on the court and you don't have a drop-off. To my point earlier, Joseph Girard coming over from Syracuse is a really good pickup for Clemson. Chase Hunter was a guy that moved over to the point guard spot last year, and he thrived in that position. Now you bring in somebody else that can play in the pick and roll, that can shoot the ball, really space the floor for a guy like P.J. Hall in the post. I think that is a good get for Clemson. And I'm excited to see what Brad Brownell and that Clemson team can do. 2
of the 5 highest scoring returning players are playing for Clemson, and those guys that you just mentioned with Joseph Girard coming over. Coach, let's go player of the year because the season's just starting. We might as well go ahead and predict that, right? But right now, who would be the player of the year heading into the season?
Common sense would say it would be Kyle Filipowski, but I'm not so common. So I'm going to go Armando Bacot because I think the chemistry of this team is going to be totally different. Look, the guy's the all-time leading rebounder in the history of North Carolina. He leads North Carolina in double-doubles. Right? All of a sudden now he's going to play with a pure point guard, Elliot Cadeau, R.J. Davis. Now all of a sudden he's going to be able to play with a little bit more freedom. They're going to have better spacing, more shot making. All of a sudden Armando's going to get down to the block where he's going to rebound the basketball, but they're going to play through him a little bit more, especially in transition. I think he's going to have an absolutely monster year.
Mondo's been there the last 10 years. He's just not quite getting to that point. This is the year, I guess, Coach thinks he makes player of the year.
You were a senior when he was a freshman, right?
That's right. That's right.
Joe wasn't born when he started.
And Coach Davis emphasized that they will play a lot faster this year. I believe that will help Armando Bacot, especially when you talk about some of the secondary break, being able to sprint to the basket, get an easy bucket. That is where he can thrive, and I think they were missing that last year. So I think with him being able to get some easy baskets in transition will help him a lot in his game.
This is a team that last year had such high expectations. We, of course, know what happened. I think this is going to be a team that is playing with a vengeance and an even more passion and purpose this year based on everything that they have already been through and accomplished in their years there. Not 10 years quite, but feels like this group has been together a long time. Speaking of together for a long time and a good time, how about ACC PM weekdays 4 o'clock? Mark Packer, Taylor Tannenbaum take you through all the ACC's biggest storylines and, of course, breaking down what happens across the conference as basketball season continues. But this game continues on the other side of this break.
Halftime here in Pittsburgh. It's the opening night of the 2023-24 college basketball season, and it continues at 9 o'clock tonight as number 2 Duke hosts Dartmouth, and then the night wraps up with the Nothing But Net crew live in Durham. That's all right over on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. So good to have college basketball back, and there's more to come from Pittsburgh after this. Stay with us. Ready to start the second half here in Pittsburgh, and it was a dominant first half in favor of the Pitt Panthers. A 50-15 advantage at the break as we welcome you back inside the Peterson Events Center. Alongside Julius Page, I'm Jason Earl, and Julius, what a showing from Pitt in that first 20 minutes.
Man, on defense, the length, the athletic ability, on offense, shooting the threes, getting to the basket, the dunks. Can't ask for more.
So let's start with Jorge Diaz-Graham, who at the 7-minute mark in the first half had no points. And by the time we got to the half, he had 12.
Yeah, let me get all 3 of these, and then once he got it going, it was a heat check. Just find your guy, he's spacing the floor, knock him down, but then throw it up to him. He can finish at the basket. Come on, I'm 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
Let me get some of the paint.
Got really hot towards the end of that first half, and at the start of the first half, it was Federico. He's got 10 points at the break.
He lives around the rim, lives in the paint. Just throw it up there to him. He's going to clean the glass. We're going to start calling him Mr. Windex because he lives off the glass. But, yeah, just get up. He's doing what he do. This is what Federico do. Put it up there, get your shot off. He'll make it happen. He don't need a play card for him.
And these Pitt Panthers almost seem too big to fail between The Diaz-Graham twins and Federico Julius, they're just going to be so much to handle height-wise as this season progresses.
Yes, sir. I mean, even being able to guard on a wing, you got to think your ability to be able to switch screens and not have to hedge, it makes it so much easier with rotations and things of that nature. So, I mean, three guys, 6'11", 7 feet tall. When the last time a Pitt basketball team had something like this? Has a Pitt team ever had this?
Well, who was on the team with Aaron Gray?
It was just him, 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I don't think it was another one. You know, usually you can get one, but to get three, it's a different story.
It's something special, no question. Well, the Aggies had a tough time from the floor in the first half, just 14%. Panthers with a huge edge in virtually every stat category you can think of. And it has propelled them to a huge advantage at the break. And if you're Jeff Capel or Oakland Zoo, not much to complain about here through 20 minutes against Monte Ross's North Carolina A&T Aggies.
I'm sure it's a little intimidating going in there with the length of the Panthers, but they're going to have to figure it out. 17 threes in the first half. It's just 2 of 17, not going to cut it.
Yeah, by the way, count that as another rebound for Bub Carrington, who's up to 8 boards, 7 points, and 5 assists on the night, his debut in a Panther uniform. Here is Carrington running the point. 8 on the shot clock, finds Federico on the roll, but pass taken away by the Aggies. Here's Joyner in transition, and instead we'll drop it back. Glasper's three-point attempt is short, and Carrington scoops up another one.
How special would that be?
He's up to 9 rebounds, the 6'5" freshman Carrington, but another Pitt turnover. Now Glasper. Athletic move to throw it up off the glass, but couldn't get the finish. And, well, Carlton Carrington ends up with it again. And if he does get the official count for the rebound there, and he certainly does, that is 10 boards for Bub Carrington, the freshman, already with 3 rebounds in the first 90 seconds of the second half.
If you're the coaching staff, do you tell them? Do you tell them to try to get the triple-double?
I think you let him play. It seems to be working, right?
Just go ahead and don't even say nothing. Just
let
keep
him do
doing what you're doing. Right.
Just hope that Jeff Capel leaves him in long enough, right?
Oh, he's a freshman. He got to stay out there. Look. Get his reps in.
He's got more to prove if he wants to end up like Brandon Knight or Trayvon Woodall, any of those guys you were talking about earlier.
He's off to a good start. Better start than any of those guys did. I can guarantee you that.
Well, what about you? How's he compare to your start? You remember your first game?
A lot better. I do not remember, but I definitely didn't have 7, 10, and 5. That's for sure.
You weren't on pace for a triple-double at halftime?
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, he's got a chance for a double-double on any given possession because he's got those 7 points. Here's Zach Austin. Tried the up and under, but had it blocked. Now Leggett scoops it up. And tried to double clutch in the air and find Federico, but ends up turning it over to the Aggies. And Jeff Capel still coaching hard. If you thought up by 37 he might lay off the gas a little bit, you thought incorrectly, because Coach Capel has high standards for his team and doesn't want to see as frequent mistakes as we've seen here in the early going of the second half.
We saw Leggett jump in the air and it worked in the first half, not so much in the second half.
Hinson was hot early, been a little bit quiet since. Now the drive is blocked there by Hidi Kudis. And the Aggies come up with it. Just 2 points in the first 3 minutes here for the Panthers in the second half. Glasper's 3 rims out. Glasper is now 0 for 10 from three-point range on the night. Nothing falling for the sophomore from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Now Leggett step through and glides through for the finish.
Nice strong move, good body control.
Ishmael Leggett now in double figures with 11 on the night and 5 boards, 2 dimes for the transfer from Rhode Island. Now Duke. A step back, top of the key, got it.
You can really shoot that thing. Got to become a little more aggressive, make it a little easier on your teammates.
Carrington for a double-double. He drills it. The freshman is showing up tonight in his Pitt Panther debut. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists for Bub Carrington. Panthers up huge. Well, Julius Bub Carrington has been maybe the story of the night. And we talked so much about the bigs tonight. Certainly there aren't many that pegged Carrington as the leading rebounder for the Panthers. He's got the 10 boards, but also drilled the trifecta in the corner to clinch a double-double in his first career collegiate game.
It's impressive. He's showing, a lot of his talents, whether it's ball handling, decision-making, his ability to get in there at 6'5" to rebound the basketball, shoot the basketball. I mean, he's setting the bar real high.
So, JP, when people watched you, I think a lot of kids started wearing the headband, right? I think if you watch enough Bub Carrington, you're going to see a lot of kids starting to wear long sleeves under their uniforms because they want to be like this guy, right?
For sure, for sure. And now with the NIL, it's good marketing for him.
Zach Austin. Another slam for the transfer from High Point to put the Panthers up 41.
The athletic ability on this team.
What stands out to you the most? Because 59-21, there's a lot to like, but to you, what's the most important thing that you've seen for Pitt?
I mean, losing the guys that they lost from last year and having Leggett come in and Carrington and Lowe, and then add Austin, a guy who's showing the ability to defend and finish at the basket. The Diaz brothers getting better. I mean, so far, this is going to be a scary team. This is a really good-looking team so far.
Yeah, they were picked to finish 9th in the ACC, and of course, this is just one game against North Carolina A&T, but certainly gives you the sense that they could exceed expectations in that regard.
If this team can consistently play like this, there's no way they finish 9th.
Well, what's interesting, too, is you come into this year asking yourself, how much is Blake Hinson going to have to do as he drills a three? But for this team to be successful, is he going to have to carry them game in, game out offensively? And by the looks of what we've seen tonight, that doesn't seem to be the case.
I think Leggett is going to take a lot of pressure off of him with his ability to penetrate. He's been doing that, and if they continue to shoot, this is going to be a long night for a lot of teams.
Well, the long night for NCA&T will continue after the timeout. 62-21 Pitt. Well, Monte Ross played his college basketball for Winston-Salem State from 1988 to 92, where he had a teammate named Stephen A. Smith. So, Julius, you took the opportunity you had to ask Monte Ross, can Stephen A. Smith really shoot? Is it true? To which he said yes. And to that you say what?
I say that, come on, man. You just looking out for your boy. You wouldn't tell me the truth anyway, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, he's the most direct source you can get, right? He was on the team with the guy.
But that's his homeboy. If he couldn't shoot, you think he would have been like, nah, man, he was a scrub.
Well, and he knew we were going to go on TV and talk about it, right?
For sure. Stephen A. wouldn't definitely let him live that one down. But I believe him. I believe him. You don't just go to a Division I program and you can't do anything. You have to be able to do something.
Well, we may never know the real answer, JP, but
for sure,
Monte Ross's word is all we can take for right now. Panthers up 62-23 as Guillermo Diaz-Graham fires a triple. It's off front iron, and rebound falls in the hands of Cam Shell. And the Aggies now 4 of 23 from beyond the arc on the night. Another look at Jalen Lowe here, the freshman point guard for the Panthers. And now another instance of Lowe and Carrington on the floor together here.
Lowe is making me feel old. His godfather is a person that I know, John Lucas III. I'm getting up there. When the players, godfathers and fathers are friends of mine.
Well, you noticed some grays earlier, right?
Yeah, well,
our cameras got a little too close. Huh?
Yeah, just a few. I'd rather get the grays than start losing it, so I'm thankful.
But yet your jersey is still here
in
the Oakland Zoo. And it's your jersey.
It is mine. It's official.
Bub Carrington looking to be the next great Pitt Panther guard. Trying to put his name in the same group as you, Julius. We've been told he is one of 3 Pitt Panthers all time to have a double-double in his first career game, joining the company of Sean Miller and DeJuan Blair. Now, I got to admit, I was skeptical earlier when you started throwing Bub Carrington's name in with Sean Miller and some of those guys. But there you have it. He's in the same category in that they both got a double-double in their first career games.
And that's legendary company. Sean Miller, one of the best to do it at his position, and DeJuan Blair, one of the best to do it at his position.
Carrington also the leading scorer now for the Panthers with 13 points, leading in rebounds and assists as well, proving to be a do-it-all guard in his first game of his freshman season. And a third foul called on Guillermo Diaz-Graham. And Carrington will step out after an excellent start to his second half.
Think Carrington might be done for the day?
I don't know. He's got to get those last few assists, right? He needs 3 more.
Yeah.
I don't know how much any of them are thinking about it, though.
No, I don't think so at all. I would. You know, the player want to get out there and go.
Carrington leading the Panthers in points, rebounds, and assists. Panthers up big. 11:45 to go at the Pitt. One of the biggest highlights of the Panthers offseason, their trip to Spain in early August, and talked to Jeff Capel about it. Said they got to go to Tenerife, experience the Twins' hometown, see where the Diaz-Grahams grew up, where they hung out and played basketball, and had a chance to play in front of their family and friends, and was also a great opportunity for the Panthers to bond and get to know each other, especially with so many new faces on the team. And you talk about the Diaz-Grahams' improvement heading into this year. They've put on some weight, and they chalked it up to their mom's cooking back in Spain. Said she was feeding them too much good food. They couldn't resist, and so they come back with a little bit more muscle this year in their second season.
Let's fly her in. Maybe they can put on about 5-10 more pounds. Might do them a little more good.
Panthers expanding in international recruiting. Of course, mentioned Conti earlier tonight. He's from Senegal. Federico has clearly proven to be a vital piece down low for this team. Here is Guillermo, speaking of him, and his twin brother fighting for the board, but can't come up with it. And Jorge hauls it in that time. And Jeff Capel said they played against 2 good teams in Spain, which was different from their trip to Italy 4 years ago. Said that the teams they played there maybe not quite up to par, but over in Spain said the teams were really good that they squared off against and allowed them to learn a lot about their group. But no doubt the highlight was being in the Twins' home country and really getting to experience what Jorge and Guillermo grew up with.
And just the opportunity to travel the world, see something different, embrace other cultures.
And what I like too about what Jeff Capel had to say about that trip. He talked about one day when they were in Spain sitting around with the staff, some of their families as well, and just thought to themselves, we did this. Well, they were a missed in-and-out three-point shot of being ACC champions in that road game down in Coral Gables at Miami towards the end of the year. And he said, coaching is such a grind, especially these days with the transfer portal and NIL. You always have to be thinking about what's next. And he said it really wasn't till a day when they were in a different country where they got to sit back and really think, we did it. We brought the Pete and the University of Pittsburgh basketball program back to what it used to be.
Yeah, he finally got to decompress. After every game is on to the next one, then after the season is on to recruiting.
Well, Panthers certainly did the necessary work in the offseason, retooling the roster, lost some pieces, mentioned those ones, but restructured, brought in Jalen Lowe, Bump Carrington having an incredible night in his first game, a number of transfers that have come in and impressed early on in their careers, and really significant what Jeff Capel has done over the course of the last 12 months. And Julius, weird to think you and I were here for the season opener last year. Not quite as many people in the house here.
Not at all. Started off slow, took them some time to get it going. You know, but it's like this in Pittsburgh. You know, you win, they're going to come out and show their support. If you're not winning, they're going to let you know. You better believe it. This city is passionate about their sports, and, you know, they expect nothing less.
Well, I enjoyed how candid he was with us, too. He said, I don't do coach speak. He was honest with us and said it was really, really hard, and admitted, Jeff Capel did, that part of it might have been arrogance on his behalf, that when he got the job at VCU in Oklahoma, he succeeded quickly, going to the NCAA tournament in his second year, respectively, at each of those schools. Thought it would come fast at Pitt. It didn't. It took some time, truly built it brick by brick into what it is now, and said he's actually glad it happened that way because it showed him who's really with him. Last year, when they started to turn it around, he started to see people come back, and he really found out who was really with him, and those are the people that he holds on to.
Absolutely. You know, during the struggle, the time that he was down, people was probably giving up on him. We found out the people that were supporting him, and then, you know, everybody's your friend when you're doing well.
That's right.
Okay, everybody want to be stand. Who gonna be with me when I'm grinding and I'm on the hot seat and things ain't going so well, you know? You know you found you a good quality friend when they stick around during those times.
The win percentage contrast is striking from the previous 6 years. To your point, Julius, maybe when he didn't have as many people sticking by him, and last year they all start to come back. But he pointed out Chris Collins again, as one of his best friends, said they were going into the same situation. Collins, the head coach at Northwestern, headed into last year where both of us felt they were kind of in a make or break year. They had each other's backs. They've been friends since they played at Duke together in the early 90s, and was really grateful for Chris Collins and the relationship the two of them have.
I tell you what, I always felt like he had the pieces. He just had some bad breaks.
Yep.
Players getting hurt. Obviously the transfer portal and things like that, you know. But he's finally putting it together.
Well, and he made it a point, too, to start seeking out players in the transfer portal who appreciated the opportunity to be at Pitt. Said in the past maybe some guys came to Pitt and thought they were doing Pitt a favor by being there. But guys like Nellie Cummings specifically last year, who grew up watching this program and really appreciated the opportunity to put on a Panther uniform. And he said that's the type of guy that we want, and those are the type of transfers he's looked for now heading into this season.
With all due respect, if you taking over a program that went winless in conference play, I'd feel like I'm doing you a favor also.
Yeah.
So it took time for him to build something. I think, you know, everything matters. I think the campus at the University of Pittsburgh, I think this facility in a Peterson Event Center, the atmosphere, you know, all of these things matter when it comes to trying to convince a kid to attend a university.
And you see Ishmael Legge at the top of the graphic on your screen, and he was one where they had a relationship with, because trainer Daniel Anthony and strength coach Vincent Williams had worked with Ishmael at Rhode Island, and so they had a previous relationship with him. They knew a lot about what he could bring to this Panther program, and now they get to see him rocking the blue and gold, and have to give a lot of credit to Coach Capel in the way he has rebuilt this roster, especially in today's era of college athletics.
It's definitely a player's market these days, where they have a lot of leverage.
(74-31) is the Pitt Panther lead. Under 8 minutes to play from the Pete. Pre-game tonight, a moment of silence for the legendary head coach Bob Knight, passed at the age of 83. One of the best to ever do it, to put it simply. Won 3 national championships as the head coach of Indiana. He's the 6th winningest head coach of all time. And if you think about Indiana starting to evolve into a blue blood program in college basketball, it all happened under Bob Knight.
Yes, sir. One of the legends, like you said, and he will definitely be missed.
I think one of the most impressive things about his career is, he had Isaiah Thomas, but aside from a few other names in his near 30 years at Indiana, he didn't always work with the best talent, not always the highly rated recruits or guys that would go on to the NBA, but really made the most of his rosters and found ways to win basketball games.
Yeah, if you couldn't be coached hard, you definitely couldn't play under Bob Knight.
So just about 7 minutes to go here at the Peterson Event Center. Pitt Panthers have been in control essentially from start to finish here at the Pete. And the lead is now up to 45 points. They've got 5 different players in double figure scoring on the contest. And of course, Bub Carrington, he's on triple-double watch. He's got 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 dimes in his debut game for the Pitt Panthers.
Go ahead, Coach. Let him just run that pick and roll 2 more times. Pick and pop and pick it. There it is right here.
Here's this 9 right here. Rims out.
They know. They know.
He's going to be passing
let him get it.
The last 6.5 here. Going to be dishing it out.
A player get this close, you got to go ahead and let him try to get it.
And the Panthers are just given opportunities to Landon Glasper, who's 0 for 15 from the field on the night. Here's Carrington, top of the key, takes the pull-up triple, hints in the board, and the easy putback.
It's a tough shot. The long arms of Federico on you, that's a tough shot. Stop on a dime, step back.
Cross-court pass here to Zach Austin. Spins along the baseline and gets the bucket. Panthers have 5 at the scorer's table. Going to do a full line change at the next stoppage. Here's another board from the freshman Carrington. 12 for him on the night. Hinson from way downtown. In and out. And that one was halfway down, Julius. I'm not sure how that ball did not go in. And look, Carrington wanted the dime. He sure did. And the Oakland Zoo is saying, leave him in. He shares a laugh with Jeff Capel. He's got 15, 12, and 9 on the night. And that would have done it.
Put him back in, Coach. Put him back in, Coach.
Well, whether we see him again or not, what a night from Bob Carrington.
He's in great company already, but, you know, come on, Coach. Just the one. You got to let me get the one. Yes, you got to let me get the one. Great job, Coach Cable. Great job.
You got to do it, right?
Let me be the only one to stand alone.
Trying to become the first ever Pitt Panther to achieve a triple-double in his debut game. So Bub Carrington re-enters to the pleasure of the Oakland Zoo. And they're making it very clear what they want, Julius. If you can't make it out, they are chanting verbatim, triple-double.
I'm asking for my guys to come back in. I need Blake back in here and Federico to make it a little easier for me, Coach. This happened a lot faster.
Need those shot makers, huh?
Yeah. Let me penetrate, just throw it up there to Federico, let him go get it, and then you can sub us right out after. You got to think the confidence and the poise you have to have as a freshman to come in here opening night. 18 years old, one of the youngest players in college basketball. As cool as the other side of the pillow.
Carrington making a lot of noise tonight.
And there it is!
Bob Carrington makes history tonight in Pittsburgh. The first Panther ever to record a triple-double in his debut game. What a night. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about Bob Carrington, Julius.
Yes, sir. Rightfully so. Did it without forcing the thing, under control, just making the right basketball play. And he's still a baby.
Hey, Guillermo's shot had people on the edge of their seats, too. It didn't make it look easy, right? Thing took a bounce off the rim, off the glass.
Yeah. The theatrics.
You said it.
A&T still got a lot to play for. You know, it's only game one. It's a long season. New players, they still got to find a rhythm, figure out what formulas work, what rotation pieces work together. Don't look at the scoreboard if you're the Aggies.
Carrington from downtown. 18 for the freshman. Jalen Lowe getting in on the action. Second field goal of the night for him. Leads us to our final timeout of the night. Bob Carrington, Dickie V would call him a diaper dandy. Triple-double for the freshman from Baltimore. There's the assist that gave it to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new era point guard for the Pittsburgh Panthers, Carrington, Lil Bob, getting it done. Rebounding the basketball, dishing the basketball, scoring the basketball. Come on, we talking about the likes of Sean Miller, Brandon Knight. He's doing it all. He's putting on a show, showing why. You better get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. You better get it ready.
He is quite the show. Bob Carrington, an entertaining player. 18, 12, and 10 tonight. Once again, the first freshman in Pitt basketball history to have a triple-double in the first game of his career. Remarkable showing from Carlton, Lil Bub Carrington from Baltimore tonight for the Pitt Panthers. He's a 4-star prospect ranked in the top 100 by Rivals and averaged over 26 points in his senior year at St. Francis Academy. And Carrington's father actually coached former Panther standout Jamel Artis from age 10 all through high school. So once again, there were some ties between this Pitt program and Bub Carrington, and it all leads to a performance like tonight, well beyond his years. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists on 7 of 12 shooting from the field. And it's the type of display that can get the fans in this building really excited for what's to come the rest of the season.
A ton to be excited about. Blake Henson getting it done. Federico getting it done. Leggett showing what he can do.
All 5 of those Panthers in double figures. And Michael Hewitt Jr. gets in on the action as well. Haven't called his name too much tonight, but he hits the jumper, the grad student from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So worth noting, the Panthers back in action on Friday here in the Pete against Binghamton. And, well, Julius, if you're Jeff Capel, you're winning 96-48. What can you take from tonight that you talk about before Binghamton on Friday?
Not much in a negative sense. I mean, your team pretty much came out and got it done. That's a good thing. You know, just remind them that, you know, we're going to see better opponents than the Aggies. You know, we play in the ACC. You're going to see Duke. You're going to see North Carolina, Miami. so don't think it's going to be this easy every single night.
And there's KJ Marshall with the triple. The walk-on for the Panthers has a little bit of fun as well. And Pittsburgh up to 99 points on the night. Have a feeling they might want 100. Oakland Zoo certainly wants 100. KJ Marshall leading the Panther offense, saying, why not? Finds Jeffress on the back door. Circus shot, rims out, but he'll head to the line. Everyone invested in this 100 mark here, Julius.
Yes, sir. It's a great way to start the season. Everything clicking offensively, defensively, getting the job done. Seeing William Jeffress come back from injury.
I mentioned they are going to face some tougher opponents without question. And those opponents not too far away. We've got Florida on November 22nd, and as part of the preseason NIT in Brooklyn, they'll also take on either Baylor or Oregon State. So some tough ones looming at the end of the month as Jeffress sinks the second free throw, and the Panthers hit the century mark.
There's never been more pressure for a free throw up 50. Never.
You're right about that. Can't imagine the disappointment on the Zoo's faces if that one didn't go in. And Jeff Capel saying, all right, that's enough. 100-52, the final. Bub Carrington makes history with a triple-double. Quite the showing from the Pitt Panthers in game 1, Julius.
Yes, sir. It's good to see them clicking on all cylinders. Returning players, new players, they got the job done. Aggies got a lot of work to do.
So 100-52, the final score in favor of the Pitt Panthers. Bub Carrington with 18, 12, and 10 in his collegiate debut. For Julius Page, our producer Sarah Johnson, our director Kevin Wheeler, Jason Earl saying so long from the Peterson Event Center, where the Pitt Panthers are 100-52 winners over North Carolina A&T on the opening night of college basketball.